Picture the 2026 World Cup in Atlanta. It is the absolute pinnacle of international sports, where the most dominant teams on Earth come to prove their superiority. Looking at this side-by-side comparison, the mismatch is glaring. On one side, you have Spain, a massive European footballing powerhouse with 47 million people. On the other, the island nation of Cape Verde, making their tournament debut with a population of barely 600,000. Over 90 minutes of play, Spain predictably dominated possession. They launched 27 shots at the Cape Verde goal, and yet the final score was exactly 0-0. To understand how a top-tier powerhouse gets completely shut out by a tiny debut nation, we have to look at the single player standing in front of the net. That player is Josimar Diaz, universally known as Vozinha. Making your World Cup debut is a massive achievement for anyone, but Vozinha did it at 40 years old. He was sharing the pitch with Spanish superstars like Lamine Yamal, teenagers who were barely out of middle school when Vozinha was already a seasoned veteran of the sport. In modern sports, athletes are expected to peak in their 20s and retire in their 30s. A 40-year-old rookie completely shatters our expectations of what peak athletic performance is supposed to look like. Growing up on the island of São Vicente, Vozinha didn't have access to state-of-the-art training facilities. He learned the game playing in the streets, constantly absorbing heavy hits from older, bigger kids. This timeline maps out the expected path of a modern football star. They are usually scouted by elite academies at age 10, sign a professional contract by 17, and become millionaires by 20. Following the second, much slower path below it, we see Vozinha's reality. He missed all of those early markers, working side jobs to survive. He finally signed his first professional contract at 25 years old. Watching the map expand, you can trace a grueling, nomadic career. He bounced around obscure, low-paying leagues in Angola, Moldova, Cyprus, and the Portuguese Second Division. Decades of grinding in the shadows without major contracts or global attention built a psychological endurance. That type of grit is something a sheltered, multi-million-dollar academy system simply cannot manufacture. Against Spain, that endurance was tested immediately. He faced wave after wave of elite attacks, pulling off 7 massive saves to keep his team alive. The scouts who called him too small, and the coaches who said he'd missed his window, were now watching him deny the world's best strikers. Each save was a physical rebuttal to the people who insisted he was too old for this level. But as he fought to hold off the Spanish offense, there was an unmistakable absence in the stands. His mother, who had sacrificed heavily so he could play, was not there to watch him. She was kept out by strict travel regulations. Because of her nationality, securing a US visa required a $15,000 bond payment, a financial barrier the family simply couldn't clear in time for the match. Knowing his family was watching from afar, his motivation shifted. He played to honor decades of unseen struggle and family sacrifice, pushing far beyond the pursuit of typical sports glory. When the referee finally blew the whistle, the stadium erupted. The Cape Verde supporters celebrated a 0-0 draw like they had just won the entire tournament. Down on the pitch, Vozinha collapsed by his goalpost. The adrenaline faded and 40 years of waiting poured out in tears. Looking at this digital counter, you can see the immediate global reaction. In a matter of hours, his social media following exploded from 50,000 to over 5 million. 90 minutes of perfect defense converted 20 years of obscurity into a global reputation. He had entered the stadium as an aging journeyman and left it as the face of the tournament's first major shock. It is incredibly easy to look at the youth-obsessed culture we live in and feel a constant panic about running out of time. We are conditioned to believe that if we haven't hit specific milestones by our 20s or 30s, the window for success has permanently closed. Vozinha's path proves that timeline is entirely imaginary. Whether you are starting a business, returning to school for a degree, or pivoting to a new career, the clock hasn't run out. A breakthrough can happen at absolutely any stage of your life. Your opportunity might arrive later than everyone else's, but late is entirely different from never.